Good evening, Internet, the real Shroom, and I did it. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did. I brewed another Cactuar deck, but I believe this is the best one yet, as we're turning the downside of the little cactus into upside. Let's take a look at some Jund Cactuar Shredder. Okay, so we're a Jund aggro deck, and what is the Cactuar? Well, it's this 1 mana 3/3 trample. At the beginning of your end step, this creature didn't enter the battlefield this turn, return to its owner's hand. So this is a huge body with trample for the mana value, just 1 mana. The downside is significant, but we're doing two things to really mitigate the downside. Number one, we're trying to give this guy haste, because I think if you can pay 1 mana to get in 2 hasty attacks with a 3/3 trampler, that's actually pretty good value. And the second thing that we're doing is we're pairing the Cactuar with Super Shredder. Yes, I am milking these 4 mythics that I redeemed from the TMNT set as much as I can. This is 2 mana for a 1/1 menace. Whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. So of course, I've discovered from playing this card in multiple decks, you don't really need to do much to enable it, but one thing that does enable it is things leaving the battlefield, including Cactuar leaving the battlefield due to its text. So this combination of cards makes the Cactuar deck more aggressive than it used to be. The Super Shredder is just an awesome card on its own, and the synergy here is real. So let's take a look at the other threats, since we are an aggro deck. We got the Stadium Headliners, also has 1-drops that are Mobilize 1, creating those tokens that go away at the end of combat, which grows our Super Shredders. We have these 3 of Fleeting Effigies, which are 1 mana 2/2 haste. At the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand, and for 3 mana, it gets +2/+0 to the end of the turn. But you know, it's a good aggressive body, 2/2 haste for 1 mana. The downside is significant, but again, when you have Super Shredder on the battlefield, the Fleeting Effigy leaving the battlefield means that it grows our Super Shredder. And also, this is it's immune to sweepers and like sorcery speed removal, which is another upside of a card like this. And then going up to 2 mana, of course, we got our Super Shredders. We got these Summon Brynhilders, which are just a great way to give haste to our Cactuars. It's a saga, it's a 2/1 creature. For Chapter 1, it exiles the top card of our library. During any turn where you put a lore counter on this saga, you may play that card. So it lets us look at additional cards also. And then for Chapters 2 and 3, when you next cast a creature this turn, it gains haste until the end of the turn. That's, of course, the way that we want to play our Cactuars, is to give them haste, but it'll give any of our creatures haste, which is always nice to have in an aggro deck. And then one piece that we haven't tried in these Cactuar decks before is these Mosswood Dread Knights. They're just really good, solid aggro to mid-range creatures. For the adventure side, they let us draw a card. We can do that even after they die. They come back to the battlefield when they die. You know, you can recast them on later turns after casting the adventure side, which makes them a good fit synergistically with Super Shredder, because they're creatures that can be removed and that we can just play again. And then we're running the full playset of Key Knight Curators as the final aggro creature. 2 mana for a 3/3 body is just really great on its own. Its ability to exile cards from graveyards really cheaply and eventually turn into a 7/7 Trampler makes this a premier threat in the format. It's just a great card all around for a brew like this. And of course, since our creatures are all 1 and 2 mana value, we're running Breakout, this 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it onto the battlefield. If it's mana value 2 or less, it gets haste until the end of the turn. Or if we don't want to put it onto the battlefield for some reason, we can just put it into our hand. But this is just another way to play our cheap stuff with haste, including our Cactuars, including any of our creatures, Super Shredders, etc. This is a perfect card for a brew like this. So those are our threats. They're low to the ground, they're aggressive, they can get hasty in multiple ways, and they synergize with the Super Shredder because some of them at least bounce back to our opponent's hand or results in other permanents leaving the battlefield. And then the rest of our deck is just interaction. We want to rule the battlefield in the early game so that we can get in our attacks. So we've got some Rick Whiting Hex, we've got some Burst Lightning for 1 mana interaction. Going up to 2 mana, we've got these Lightning Strikes, and we've got a 2 of Assassin's Trophy, which is just a benefit you get for playing Golgari. I'm a huge fan of this extremely versatile removal spell. Destroys anything, including lands. Yeah, they get a land back for it, but hopefully that doesn't matter, as we're just going to be beating down and closing out the game quickly. Total of 21 lands in the mana base is more than sufficient for our mana value. We don't want to flood out, and hopefully will provide us the colors that we need when we need them. The sideboard contains 4 Duress, full playset against those pesky control decks with their sweepers and lightning helixes. Intimidation tactics is really here against the go big elemental style decks. where their creatures are just overwhelming and can sometimes be like evoked to the battlefield early, we like to just take those away. This is honestly just the best card for dealing with many of the extremely powerful threats in Standard. We've got more Requiting Hex for more 1 mana removal if we need it. We've got a Bitter Triumph and a Death in the Family for more 2 mana removal to kill stuff that is above mana value 2. We've got 1 Abrade for those artifacts. 1 Iroh's Demonstration can sweep 1 toughness creatures on our opponent's side, or can kill a larger creature with its 4 damage side. A Heritage Reclamation gets a little bit of Artifact Enchantment and Graveyard Hate. Remember, we already have the Keen-Eyed Curators as a playset in the main board for Graveyard Hate. A Paw Patch Formation is really good against Unholy Annex decks, which I keep running into, as it can kill the Unholy Annex or flying creatures, such as the Demon token it creates. We get Assassin's Trophy number 3 in the sideboard, and a 1 of Ruinous Rampage is here against those affinity decks that are becoming really popular these days. So that's Jund Cactuar Shredder Aggro. I think this is my favorite Cactuar build yet. It's really amazing how good of an aggro card this Super Shredder is. It just grows and grows and becomes so huge and just lethal on its own. It's really a great threat for these kinds of decks. So let's get into some matches in the Platinum tier of the ladder, see if we can get some wins. If you like off-meta MG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Sad Girl the Crafty will be our first opponent. Some Jund Cactuar Shredder aggro. Looks like we're going to be on the draw. Yeah, we're going to keep... It's a very land-heavy hand, which is too bad. We do have a 1 Restless Fence in our mana base, by the way. Just because I really actually think the 3 mana to make it a creature is pretty good. I think we're going to keep this, because we got a 1-drop. The Brynhilder lets us look at an extra card as well. I forgot to mention during the deck tech that, of course, the Brynhilder being a saga just goes away on its own, which means that it grows the Super Shredder when it goes away. Edge Rover. Okay, we draw Fleeting Effigy. Okay. I'll attack with my Fleeting Effigy. I would trade for this Edge Rover. Or if they want to just take damage, that's fine too. They do trade. Okay. So we each get a lander token. Opponent just cracks theirs. That's fine. Requiting Hex. Okay. I'm just gonna summon Brynhilder. So that we get a Keen-Eyed Curator as an extra card for next turn. We can make it hasty. Pinnacle Emissary. Edge Rover. Okay. So we will... we're going to... Let's see... Hey, thank you for the follow, Love Smart. We're gonna Blooming Marsh. We're gonna Requiting Hex the Edge Rover. We'll play a hasty Keen-Eyed Curator and attack with it. Kina to Gourmet if 1 or more tokens would be created. So they just did like a token deck with the Pinnacle Emissary. We draw a bunch of lands, which is terrible. I can actually give it domain, give my Keen-Eyed Curator domain, which I guess I will do. So yeah, we'll exile artifact creature. Enchantment creature. Plus instance. Attack. Our 7/7 trampler. They take it. Alright, we'll play a stadium headliner. Genghis Frog. Biotech Specialist. So makes it whenever they sack tokens, it does damage to us. Okay, we just can't draw anything but lands this game, unfortunately. Alright, we'll attack with our Curator. And then we will just play a land and pass. Sack a lander and do damage to us. Yep. Sack another lander to do damage to us. Attack for 1. Okay, well, let's get 2 more lands out of our library. Actually, only have 1 more basic to tutor up. We draw a land. Okay, well, we can... I think we win here. We come close. So which of these creatures do we want to... we can't kill any of these creatures, actually, because... they're all 3 toughness. If we sack this, it only absorbs 2. But we'll see how our opponent blocks. If they want to block our headliner, they take 3 extra points of damage, basically, off the Curator. Okay, so we can sack this to kill the Biotech Specialist. Alright, opponent's at 1. We have many, many lethal draws off the top of our library. Leyline of Transformation. Choosing Mutant. Good game, opponent says. Okay. That's the proper way to say good game. So, against that, well, we want a Braid. I think we want Iroh's Demonstration. We want Death in the Family. They got a lot of 3 drops and 3 toughness stuff, so I think we'll cut the Burst Lightnings, maybe just run 1 Requiting Hex. Anything else we want to bring in? I don't think so. We'll just try it like this. Alright. Another kind of land-heavy hand, but we're gonna keep. Breakout is awesome. We got a Keen Curator, which is great. Alright, they have a leyline on mutants. Okay, we're gonna lead on the Cactuar. Switching Doll. Okay, let's play this on red. And break out. A Mosswood Dread Knights. Opponent takes it. Cactuar goes away. There's this guy. Kina. Summon Brynhilder. Alright. We're gonna attack with our Mosswood. Opponent takes it. Alright, let's summon Brynhilder. Get in a braid. Play Cactuar. Biotech Specialist. Makes a frog. Do 2 damage to us, sure. Okay, so we can abrade something and play our Cactuar hastily. I think we abrade the quinoa. Play a hasty Cactuar. Just attack. I guess I didn't need to attack with Summon Brynhilder. That means that I'm not going to get a hasty creature next turn. That was a mistake. This is a huge hit, though. Alright, opponent's at 2. Alright, opponent's going to make some spider tokens. 2/2 reach. Night Curator. Alright, let's summon Brynhilder. See what we draw. Another Cactuar. Alright, let's attack with our dudes. They go down to... Oh, are they dead? Yeah, they're dead because of Trample. Yep, alright. Beat them up with the Cactuars. GG's. Braden 1, 2, 3, 4 Fun. The Virtuous will be our next opponent with some Jund Cactuar Shredder. Will be on the play. This hand looks great. We'll keep. I think we'll lead on this Shockland in order to possibly enable black mana for turn 2. Even though we could play this effigy off our Verge. Storm chases down. Alright, let's summon Brynhilder. Draw land. opponent shocks. So likely holding up a counter spell. Kill this otter. Is dead. Okay, looks like a counter spell. Let's play our Fleeting Effigy. It's gonna get haste. It's already hasty. No more lies. Okay. Attack. Play our free land. Another Brynhilder. Okay. Play a Key Knight Curator. Hasty. Play another Brynhilder. Break Out. Sweeper here, possibly? Stock up. Okay, we draw a Cactuar. That's beautiful. Play a hasty Cactuar. Let's break out for... Is this lethal here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Sure. We'll do a Super Shredder, I guess. Then they tap out for their sweeper. I attack with Restless Vent next turn. Overlord. That's not going to do it. Okay, so some kind of control-y thing. I think we want our 4 duress. And we'll cut probably 2 requiting hexes. A little bit of our burn. Try this. This hand looks good. We've got aggressive creatures and mana to cast them. We'll keep. Alright. FG, get in there. Smack for 2. Authority of the consoles. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll summon Brynhilder, I guess, for an extra card. Means Fleeting Effigy is a dead draw. Stock up. Attack with our Brynhilder. Yeah, we'll play this Mosswood Dread Knight. haste doesn't matter anymore. And this Cactuar. Split up. We don't draw black mana, unfortunately. Okay. Sure, so we'll just play a Keen-Eyed Curator. Aang's Iceberg. Break Out. Okay, let's break out. I guess a Mosswood Dread Knight. Play another Keen-Eyed Curator. More split ups. Can I draw black mana, please? Nope. How about a Cactuar? Overlord. Draw land. Okay. Finally do find black mana. Cactuar goes away. Yeah, with the authority on the board, makes Cactuar a lot worse. Definitely. It makes hasty creatures really bad, so we'll have to adjust it after sideboarding. Stock up. Duress. Takes up our only black source for the turn. I guess we want to play it though before we would play a Super Shredder. We can't even attack with this Restless Vents because we don't have a second black source. Yeah, I guess we want to... The thing is, like, they have the Storm Chaser's talent, so they can just get back whatever we duress anyway. No more lives. Mirror. They're a Mirrorform deck. Okay. Overlord. Draw Break Out. Break Out doesn't even make our... haste doesn't even work, though. I think we're dead here. But we have a better idea of what to do for sideboarding for game 3. So we want... Assassin's Trophy, Paw Patch, Heritage Reclamation. And I think we do want the Intimidation Tactics. We'll take those Overlords. So we'll cut the Fleeting Effigies, because those are really bad if our opponent resolves a Authority the consoles. Cactuars kind of are too, but I don't want to cut those. I'll cut one Mosswood and one Break Out. Let's try this. Alright, that's a 0-lander mulligan. Okay. Yeah, we can keep this. Sure. What do we bottom? Break Out? Like, we have only one creature in this hand? Maybe we bottom Heritage Reclamation? Or Intimidation Tactics? I think we'll bottom Heritage Reclamation. We got these 2 discard spells. So we'll put those to use. Just really would like them to not turn 1 Authority. Okay, good. So let's Duress. No More Lies, stock up, 3 steps ahead. Alright, we'll take No More Lies. Spyglass Siren. Okay. There's a Super Shredder. I'm gonna play Super Shredder and Cactuar. Opponent stocks up. Another Super Shredder. Alright, let's Intimidation Tactics. Overlord, Mirrorform. We'll take the Overlord. Let's Break Out. We'll get a... Summon Brynhilder. Exile land. Attack like this. Play our free land. Grow Super Shredder. Opponent just stocks up again. Okay, so, representing a sweeper for next turn. So we'll play our Cactuar hastily. 2 life. Activate our Restless Vents. Make a big attack. We'll decline to discard. Aang's Iceberg. Gonna exile Super Shredder. Gonna crack their map, revealing a Get Lost on top of their library. Okay. So we can haste our Keen-Eyed Curator. And we'll play this Super Shredder, I guess. Attack. Alright, flame goes down to 1. We grow our Shredder to a 3/3. So they need to kill our creatures, and we still have our Restless Vent as well. We can't do it with these cards. We don't know what their last card is. Aang's Iceberg. Exiling Super Shredder. So they're dead. They can get lost. That, but I still have my Restless Vents. Good game. Alright, just aggro enough to get there against Mirrorform control. Shank Spore will be our next opponent. We're on some Jund. Cactuar Shredder aggro. Okay, we just need to find some red mana. We're on the draw. We'll keep red source off the top, please. How about a red creature? Okay. 0 for 2. We'll play the Super Shredder. Ninja Teen. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Alright, let's attack with the Shredder. Play a Cactuar. Pass. Southwind Avatar. Whenever another creature controlled dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. Yeah, so we have to kill this because it has Death Touch. It does give them a land, but it grows our Shredder. Getting a hit, grow our Shredder. Awesome. Generous Plunderer deck, basically based on your last Jeskai deck. Generous Plunderer is a good card. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have Menace. Well, we can't find green mana, or red mana to save our life. That is definitely true. We'll just play our Cactuar and attack for 3. Shredder's technique. Destroy target creature or enchantment. If enchantment was destroyed, you lose 2 life. Bloodletter of Aklazat. Okay. Menace, Death Touch. We're gonna lose our Cactuar, so we're just dead, actually. Okay. Well, we started off with 0 red sources, we ended with 0 red sources. So I think we want Death in the Family. Bitter Triumph. Paw Patch Formation. That's probably it. gonna cut the requiting hexes. I still got burst lightnings. Maybe I'll bring in Assassin's Trophy number 3. I'll cut a mosswood. Let's cut a couple of mosswoods. Maybe a mosswood and a break out. So when we go down on our creatures, we probably cut break out as well. Let's try this. Okay, here we don't have black mana, but we have a better hand overall, so I'll keep this, I suppose. Alright, let's lead on our stadium headliner. Infestation Sage. Okay, well that's pretty good against us. Let's break out. More stadium headliners. Now we'll go with Mossy. Attack with our Mosswood Dread Knight. They take it. Alright, Bitter Bloom Bearer. Let's attack with everything. And I'll kill the Bitter Bloom Bearer with my Stadium Headliner. This can die anyway. Mosswood Dread Knight goes down to their removal spell. Dude. I don't think I want to cast this. Let's just run double Cactuars, getting the huge attack next turn. Hopefully top deck a Black Source, then we can play Super Shredder. Infestation Sage. And the Bitter Bloom Bearer. Keen-Eyed Curator. Alright, let's attack with our Cactuars. They just take it. Play a Mosswood Dread Knight. Alright, well we're just not going to have our colors or more than 2 lands in this match, apparently. There's a South Wind Avatar. Okay, we do find land number 3. But it's not no Black Source still, though. Okay. I guess we're just deploying some creatures. Yeah, I guess we're just playing a couple of Cactuars. There's no real reason to shock there. Opponent has Super Shredder. Okay, we again draw non-black mana. So they're gonna take some damage here. Are they gonna die to their own thing? I think they are, actually. They're taking 5 here. Okay, they're taking 4. And then we're dead. 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Because we can play Keen-Eyed Curator. Good game, opponent says. Alright, well, we're a 3-color deck and never managed to get our 3 colors online, so too bad. Aces are wild. The pack leader will be our next opponent with some Jund Super Shredder Cactuar aggro. Look, we have our colors this time. We're on the draw. We're gonna keep this for sure. Llanowar Elves. Okay. We'll just bolt the elf. Pollinator. Alright, let's break out. We'll get a Cactuar. Witch's Vanity. Destroy a creature, and then it's going to create a food, and then create a wicked roll. Okay. Let's play Summon Brynhilder. See what we get off it. A Stadium Headliner? Sure. Play a Stadium Headliner. Obsessive Pursuit. The Tragic Trajectory. Okay. So let's play a hasty Cactuar. And we'll play a Super Shredder. And attack. And we'll play a Stadium Headliner. Mutagen Man. Gonna stack some mutagens. Okay, so here we should win, I believe. Yeah. We just kill the Mutagen Man. Attack. And that's game. So, Obsessive Pursuit, that kind of thing. I think we'll just get Heritage and Paw Patch. I don't think we need to go overboard. Cut a Curator and a Mosswood. Let's try this. Alright, we got our one tap land, unfortunately, but we're gonna keep this. This is a good hand. Do we lead on our tap land, or do we play a Cactuar? I think we want to play a Cactuar. Vaginal cub. Okay, and then we'll play Super Shredder and attack the Cactuar. Can we draw an untapped red source for next turn, please? Draw our Shredder as our Cactuar leaves. Sentinel. We don't draw a red source. Let's use our Mosswood to draw a card. You whiff on untapped land. So I could attack with the Super Shredder. They end up losing one of their Llanowar elves, which puts them significantly behind on mana. I guess it's worth it. Whichever way they double block, they're gonna lose mana. They just take it. Really hurt by our one of Restless Vents. Which I guess there's some question whether we should have any tap lands at all. I kind of feel like this is a good one to have. It did hurt us there, though. Okay, opponent just makes a big attack. Another Super Shredder. Alright, let's break out. We'll get a Cactuar. We'll play another Cactuar. Attack with the Shredder. Attack with Sentinel. So if we double block it, either way they can just crack this token to enable their tragic trajectory. So I think we're gonna double block it. Okay, Sentinel dies. One of our Cactuars dies, but now they can tragic trajectory our Shredder, which is okay, because we got another one. Oh, they do it to the Cactuar. So they must have another one. Another removal spell. Or something. I mean, they have like... They have 6 mana available. No, they just map. Okay, that was an odd series of plays there. Alright, let's play our Stomping Ground. Let's play our Mosswood before we lose it. Then we'll just go double Fleeting Effigies. Attack. And GG's. We beat him down. Okay. I feel like they could have played that a little better, but they just resigned to the beatdowns. Cactuar and Shredder, too powerful. Merlin will be our final opponent with some Jund Cactuar Shredder aggro. Will be on the play. Yeah, this hand looks really good. We'll keep. We get to play a 1-drop on turn 1. Firebending lesson. Okay, could be lessons. I think we'll just break out. Let's get a Mosswood Dread Knight going. Yeah, looks like it's lessons. So they exile our Mosswood. Alright, let's play a Keen-Eyed Curator and a Stadium Headliner. Possibly I should have just left up mana for the Curator, because they could go like, I don't know, just to try to keep them off 3 lessons. See if I get punished. And it passes. Okay. I think we will... They're showing possible quench here. So let's just attack. For 5. And we'll just pass the turn. If opponent will let us. Accumulate wisdom. Alright. We'll exile a couple of lessons. Yeah. Just exile lessons. Monument? Sure. That's all you got? Yeah, let's just exile some more lessons. Mosswood. Sorcery creature. What do we have? Instants only. So we could get land sorcery creature to fully power up our curator. That takes all of our mana, though. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Land. Sorcery. Creature. Attack for 9. Grand. Alright. So, that BS. We want a Braid, Paw Patch Heritage, Assassin's Trophy. We don't need Requiting Hex. I think we want some number of Duress as well. A couple of Duresses. How about that? We don't need Lightning Strike. I'll keep a couple of Burst Lightnings for the Grands. Cut a couple of Dread Knights because they get exiled pretty easily. Got a Dread Knight and a Headliner. Let's try this. This hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. Can hit for 2 on turn 1. On turn 2, we can Duress and either hit for 2 or play a Headliner. I think we want to hit for 2 on turn 1. Actually, this Verge doesn't produce black mana if we play this on red, which is a consideration. Let's just top deck a land that enables our Verge, or like a swamp. Alright, neither of those. I do think that we want to get in damage as early as possible, though. Okay. We still don't have black mana, so let's break out. Let's get a Keen-Eyed Curator. Okay, they have green mana. Soka. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Okay, we find something to enable our Duress, which is wonderful. So, let's shock here. Duress you. We discard a card if you do, return. Okay, they're going big with this stuff. We'll take Firebending Lesson. Let's kill this thing. Play our Fleeting Effigy. Attack for 5. Great Divide Guide. Okay. Play our Effigy. Attack. I think they just get to eat this. It costs 3 mana to boost this, so they do just get to eat our Effigy if they block that way. They might be fearing some kind of spell, though. Okay, they just block the Effigy. That's fine. You can block the Effigy. Let's play a Mosswood. Alright, they play a 3-4. They get to get back their firebending lesson, which I could have exiled last turn. Yeah, I didn't really plan out my turns very well. They don't, though. They choose not to discard anything. Okay, we draw another Keen-Eyed Curator. Sorcery instant creature land, so we can get our Curator up to where we want it. I think I'll just play a couple of Stadium Headliners. Pass the turn. Aggro. During your turn, each non-lesson instant sorcery in your graveyard has flashback equal to its mana cost. Each lesson in your graveyard has flashback 1. So we'll get rid of Firebending Lesson. And they're dead? They just like tapped out in the face of my board? Okay. So I have instant, land, creature. There is a sorcery in here, right? Yeah, sorcery. Okay, jeez. Well, opponent did not respect our attacks and paid the price. Okay, our final record with this Jund build of Cactuar Shredder aggro was a 4-1, and I think it's the best Cactuar deck. I really like it. You know, obviously I'm a fan of the Cactuar, as I've made like 4 brews now around this card. This is my 3rd brew around Super Shredder too, because I really like this card too, and they just synergize so well, and I think this is a legit good aggro build because we turn the downside of all of these things exiting the battlefield. Brynhilder is already just a good card, giving haste to all of our stuff. Turning the fact that it just naturally goes away on its own into upside like the Cactuars is just huge. The Super Shredder doesn't really need much help, but I think this deck provides it just the right amount of help in just the right way while building, making an aggro game plan that's on curve. I think it's really good. You just hope that your meta is a little kind to you, because we are a 3-color deck with 21 lands. It does mean sometimes you can get color screwed a little bit. It shouldn't happen that often, but it will occur, as it did against one opponent in our loss. You know, it's a 21 land deck that's playing 3 colors, so you can occasionally get the awkward mana draw where you won't get to deploy your stuff on time. But anyway, I really like it. It's definitely the best Cactuar brew. Jund is just a classic, you know, 1-for-1 removal heavy, interaction heavy color combination that can bring the pain, but also can just deal with whatever your opponent's throwing at you. Of course, we get to play Assassin's Trophy in this deck, which is another one of my favorite cards. So yeah, I think this deck has the tools that it needs to beat anything. It gets down early, it hits hard, it has some resilience to it. It's never like fully out of the game until it's down to 0 life, really. Because it has the interaction to stage comebacks and the aggression to make sure that its combat steps hit hard. So I think it's cool. I really like it. It's my favorite Cactuar brew, probably my favorite Super Shredder brew so far yet that I've done. Anyway, on that note, I think I will retire the Cactuar, you know. I'm not going to build around it purposefully any longer. Although if it so happens that another high synergy piece like Super Shredder comes up, I may revisit the Cactuar, but I think this is its ultimate home. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me play some Jund Cactuar Shredder in Standard. If you did and you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream MTG on my Twitch channel most Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. There's a link to the Twitch in the description if you want to come check out the action in real time. So I hope that you all have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later.